So, for a lot of us, cubing is an activity that's really fun, and we all get really excited whenever new records are broken and stuff like that. But we never really take a moment to look at the other side of things. Like, for example, when you're about to finish your most ambitious project yet, a 21 by 21 behemoth that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into. Hours of dedication and modeling, and this work of art is only a few pieces away from greatness.
Experiencing massive piece separation. Nope.
Yeah. Having your life's work shatter into a million pieces right before your eyes is one thing. But, having that one chance at breaking the world record, only for disaster to strike, is another. So, Jaden McNeil is one of the most brilliant speedcubers ever.
No making excuses, just get good.
His hobbies include things like being the second fastest cuber in Australia for 30 plus years, hating on me for forgetting to look for first parent inspection, and giving YouTube advice.
You gotta clickbait more. Have no shame. Say it's like, I don't know, new best alg? Question mark? It works. It works.
But we all know and love Jay for his 30-minute rambling sessions about who knows what, and just in general being the sensei master of cubing. So the world record at the time is 4.22 seconds by Feliks Zemdegs, and Jay's about to do his solve, and I think we all know what happens from here. This could have been the first ever sub 4. It could have even been a 3.5 if it went really well. And who knows how Jay would have reacted to this. I think he probably would have just, sat there like he does for all of his other solves.
Wait.
Not really batted an eye at the fact that he just broke the world record by, almost a full second. And what really gets me with this one, what really makes me slap my knee, is that everybody behind him was, acting all like, oh wow, what a great solve, sub 5, how impressive, it was Jay's PR at the time. And the only people who really knew the truth behind the solve were Jaden McNeil, his judge who looked like he'd just seen a ghost, and Chris, who was the guy that was filming the solve. And speaking of Australians, that one guy, what's his name? Feliks Zemdegs, I think. He has some pretty memorable solves too, as I'm sure we're all aware. I mean, seriously, dude, save some records for the rest of us. 121, how is that even fair? So imagine you're the world record holder at the time, Mats Falk, who just broke the record in his last competition. And you're sitting next to Feliks, you're really looking to win this comp, you're looking to do well in the final round. Think to yourself, I'm just going to chill out and win this competition. And it turns out that you're actually on pace for the national record average. Through the first 4 solves, you've actually done really well. And if you get your best solve here, then you can get a national record. But before that, Feliks has to do his last solve. And you're solving your 4x4 or whatever he's doing right now. And you look up for half a second. And all of a sudden, your world record is gone by 0.01 seconds. I mean, it literally doesn't get any closer than that. And speaking of getting your record stolen, it's November of 2015, and the world record had just been broken by Keaton with a 5.09. Now, of course, you got your normal world record drill. Everybody's screaming and yelling. You got that one kid that's trying to break the sound barrier for some reason. But at this point, the sub 5 barrier was looking more and more achievable, especially with this new record, which if it would have been just 1/10 of a second faster, it would have been sub 5. But little did Keaton know that that day in November, he would be breaking 2 records instead of just 1. Those would be, of course, the record for solving the 3x3 Rubik's Cube in the fastest amount of time, and also the record for having a world record for the shortest amount of time. Because Lucas Etter's about to do his solve about an hour after Keaton had just broken the record, and he gets a 490. Literally an hour after Keaton had just gotten his solve. And it was at the same comp. I mean, the odds of this happening literally have to be 1 in a million. And now he's got everybody in the world talking about his incredible solve. And as for Keaton, his record is pretty much forgotten because according to the WCA regulations, if there are 2 records in one day, only one of them is actually counted as a world record. So his pretty much just didn't count at all. So we've already seen records get snatched by other people. But for this one, the record is actually snatched by the cube itself. So you know how Feliks stole the record in the last one, right? Well, this situation was actually pretty much the exact opposite. Because at this point, Mats held the record with a 5.55. And Feliks is about to get a really, really lucky solve. But when he finishes the cube, he actually doesn't. And that's because the corner is twisted. I mean, this literally isn't even a +2. This solve just doesn't count, like it's a DNF. And also, you want to know how you can stop that from happening? By using code STU at Speedcube Shop. and getting yourself a cube that doesn't corner twist every single time you put it down. I mean, I've been there, I've experienced those type of cubes, those are just not fun to deal with. And you know, nowadays we just have such great hardware, like you can get yourself a cube for under $10 that is basically usable in 2023. So this is Tymon, and you probably know him for breaking the world record average. But this competition actually took place a couple of months before that happened. But anyway, he's on his third solve, and he sees that it's a pretty good scramble for white cross, so that's what he goes for here. But he doesn't finish the cube. I mean, it's literally just like millimeters off. So yeah, this could have been the first ever sub 4 on camera, which he did actually end up getting, by the way, which is pretty funny. But what's worse is that this could have actually also been the first ever sub 5 average with a 4.74. That is, of course, assuming that he would have done the exact same thing for the last 2 solves, but you never know, it's Tymon. I mean, he seems to do really well under pressure, so maybe it would have happened, who knows. But it's all just speculation for the most part. So yeah, it was pretty fun to look back at a lot of these sad moments. That sounds pretty bad, but yeah, it was fun to look back at the sad moments anyway. And I also want to know, what do you guys think is the saddest moment in cubing history? For me, personally, it's the Jade McNeil 4.97. That'll always be pretty depressing for me. And oh yeah, here's your daily reminder that a kindergartner is faster than you. So yeah, that's about it.